one thing that you'll want to make a regular habit out of doing with your aquaponics system is checking the pH levels and the ammonia and nitrite and nitrate levels as well from time to time. Today I want to show you just this simple freshwater test kit, and I'm going to test the pH just to show you how to do that. So the first thing that we're going to do is get our kit out. They have this card here that helps you measure once you get a coloration on the tube. Then you'll measure it up against this to see where your levels are at. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take out a clean tube, and then also today what I'm going to show you is checking the pH levels. Typically in the freshwater kits there are two pH bottles. One is for low pH and one is for high pH. Hopefully you're not having the high pH and you won't have to use that tester very often. This system's been circulating for a little while, so our pH has been balancing out. Still need to make some adjustments from time to time. So we're going to do that now. These kits are really easy to use. The instructions are on a little manual that comes with the kit and right on the bottle as well. So for pH solution, I'm going to fill the water up to the 5 milliliter line that is on the test tube here. And then I'm going to add 3 drops to this and shake it up, let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then I'll get a good read. I'm going to get some water out of the fish tank here. Open the lid. I've got some, may not be able to see, but I've got some circulating water. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill this tube up. This water is being pumped directly out of the tank, so it's good water to use to test with. And then typically you'll overfill, but I just splash it out a little bit, drip by drip, till I get right to that line. It's pretty easy to do. And then I'm going to just follow the instructions here. It says to put in 3 drops. So you shake that up a little bit. And you turn it directly upside down, barely squeeze it. Then you have to squeeze it much. Put the cap back on. I'm going to give this a little shake. I can already tell that my pH is really low. I'm actually going to want to buffer that up a little bit. So just as a preliminary measurement, I'll show you. We got kind of a yellow look here, which means that my pH is right at probably below 6.0. So with this system, I'm going to want to see the pH come up. Now there's several ways that you can add and adjust your pH, either up or down. And I'll show you that. So we had just taken this pH test. We found that the pH is low. And that's not uncommon for a system that's been circulating for a while. Generally, when you start an aquaponics garden, you're gonna battle a little bit with higher pHs. But as the system matures, the pH is actually gonna naturally go down. So you're gonna have to buffer it back up. And there's some ways that you can do that. One great way to buffer is just to bag some crushed eggshells in, maybe some old pantyhose or something like that. You're going to just bury that in here, and that'll be a good buffer. If I need to make some changes, I actually do want to raise the pH on this a little bit for the overall health of the system. In the beginning of your system, when you're wanting to buffer your pH down, there's some products that you can use. I want to show you a product not to use and why. Some of the either pool stores or Home Depot, Lowe's, places like that sell a product like this. It's called pH Down, and it can be in liquid or like a pelleted form. This will lower your pH, but it will harm your system. It adds a lot of sodium, and it's really bad for the system. I'm not going to go into the details of that, but there are products that they sell either at hydroponics grow stores and even at nurseries, plant nurseries. And it's a pH down liquid. You don't have to add much of it. In fact, when you're lowering or raising your pH, you want to do it very incrementally, so that you don't have any very vast or quick pH swings that could kill your fish. So you want to gradually do this, maybe over a 2 to 3 day period. So if I was experiencing high pH, then I would just take maybe a couple, 2-3 capfuls for a system like that is this size, and add that, and then measure again after 24 hours, and then continue to make adjustments if necessary. With this particular system, I built it. It's got a float valve, so that over time, as there's some water lost to the system and it goes down to a certain level in the tank, it automatically adds water. I don't have to manually do that, and that way I can ensure that my water levels never get too low. Typically the water that you add in from the tap is pretty high in pH, and so I've added some water to this system, and it will raise the pH up probably to the place that we want to have it, and also give a little bit extra water to circulate in the system.